Greetings and welcome back, one and all, to City Skylines and to the City of Noon and to the Rock Phillip Depot Wellery specifically, where we have a number of oil pumps happily churning away, slowly drilling or rather tapping into those precious oil reserves. Now, I have been told that when you run out of oil, your oil pumps will turn into oil refineries. Now, I wasn't aware that you could actually run out of a resource. That's a little bit frightening in a way. But it doesn't look like we are running out. Maybe, I don't know. We'll have to keep an eye on that one, honestly. But one of the very first things that we're going to be doing in this episode is something I have already mentioned in the last one, and that is we really do need a fire department around this area, because otherwise it's going to take so long for the fire departments from the other districts to send their trucks down here that, well, yeah, it's probably never going to happen that they can actually put out a fire. So, yeah, let's start with that, since, you know, a fire in an oil well, not exactly the best thing in the world. We could have one. Yeah, we'll have one there. It actually seems like a fairly decent place to put it. There we go. And we'll immediately name it as well. Now, given the amount of things that we've got named at this point, it's really starting to become an issue to think up an interesting name for each building. So what I'm probably going to start doing is, if something doesn't immediately jump out at me, then I'll simply name the building after what it is. I'll just name it after the person, and then, you know, so-and-so's fire station or what have you. Now, let's go for Buck the Star Firehouse. There we go. Buck the Star, named after, unsurprisingly, Buck the Star. That one obviously sounded like someone's actual username. And, well, we could also place down a healthcare building as well. Possibly. Not sure about that one. We definitely probably need an incinerator down here, simply because these places will be generating rubbish, and if we don't have an incinerator picking it up, then that's going to be a bit of a pain. Because right now, as you can see, lots of vehicles are coming down the highway to pick up this trash from elsewhere. The incinerator will probably send vehicles out to other parts of the city as well, so it won't be a complete waste. Yeah, let's go with that then. And this one shall be the Detroit wow, given where we're setting this up, we've got an incinerator built in amongst a bunch of oil wells. I suspect bad things are going to be in our very near future. Right, there we go. Now, I'm just going to allow that to develop for the time being. Let's see how things are going down here. We've got a lot of traffic leaving the city, which is actually remarkably neat. Right, well, one thing we can do is we can set up a train station down here to help with moving the freight around. Specifically, the train station would help pulling the freight over to the Beelzebubble Industrial Park. Yeah, I'm liking that idea quite a lot, actually. Okay, let's start on that. In fact, before we do, have I named all of these? Yes. Aha, no, I have not. Okay. Well, this one shall be the Jeremy Clark. This is servicing the agricultural district and the nursery. We'll name this one the Jeremy Clark Wood Chuckery. Perhaps Jeremy Clark will finally be able to give us the answer to that age-old question. I wouldn't hold my breath on that one, though. And have we named this one? No, we have not. Very well. This one shall be the Acacia... Oh, double A. I'm too used to my own name having two A's. The Acacia... The Acacia Commercial Depot. Since that one's largely there to move goods from the industrial park down to the Rick Eagle Brick Commercial District. Okay, now we want to take... let's grab this. Take it through there. I always found it remarkably amusing that the rail constantly wants to connect to the highway. Right, we're going to want to cross over here. There we are. And we're going to want to come around underneath there, I would think. Now, if we have a look down here, we should be able to get a solid idea of where the support pillars are. Well, actually, we could have the train station around here instead. Right, we'll go for this one now. Actually, first we'll place the train station, and then we can have a proper look and see where we need to place the lines. Ooh, we can't put it here? Why not? Height too high, really? Oh. Well, that's a little bit disappointing. I guess we'll put it up here then. That should really make them happy because they're going to have freight connection. It'll be useful not only for moving things to Beelzebubble, but also just for moving things out to the city connection. That is an awful railway. Transportation Tycoon has taught me much better than that. My goodness. Let's try and line this up if we can. That'll do. That is a much, much better railway, my lord. Okay, right. This one shall be called the Bow Golden. Named for Bow Golden. Oil Tankery. Now, thinking about oil tankers, I do believe we have access to ships. Now, the unfortunate thing is the shipping lanes are all out here, so we're not going to be able to have any awesome ships going this way, because the ships will take more or less a direct route to the oil wells themselves. Oops. I apparently have a text from my phone provider. It's been doing that all day. I rarely get texts, so I'm always a little bit excited when I get one, and then it ends up being my phone service provider saying, oh yeah, give us more money, we'll give you special things that you don't want or need. Right, well, we're not easily going to be able to have the docks connecting up there, which is a little bit of an issue. This is a passenger dock. I guess this one would be actually well suited to connecting up to Bone Dragon Henge. In fact, if I put it here, then I can connect it more or less to everything in one go. Also, if I place it here, the noise pollution isn't going to upset anyone. There's a certain sense to that. Yes, I actually quite like this idea. I'm going to place that down. That's the first step. The second step is to connect this up to power. The third is to make sure it has water, because I imagine it's going to want it. Now, the next step is actually going to be something that I've been thinking of doing for a little while. First, we're going to actually name it. Ship ahoy! Citizens celebrate the opening of the harbour and the arrival of the first majestic ferries. Really? Have I flat out broken? What have I done wrong? That should all be connected. Egad. You know what? Just in case that happens again in the future, let's do that so we've got a redundant connection. There we go. Right. Ooh, well, rename this and then I'm going to have a look at that, actually. This shall be the Sad Psycho Shipyard. Named for Sad Psycho. Now, we're not going to hook that up just yet. Well, I suppose I should, but... yeah, well... we'll quickly connect it for the time being. Just for the sake of hooking that all up. But, we really need to deal with our death situation, unfortunately. I mean, we've got our crematoriums are doing okay for the time being. But I feel that's going to get worse over time. That one's practically full. How about emptying you? Yes, we'll empty that one as well. That one has been emptied. We can move that in a moment. This one needs to start emptying. So does this one. What we want to do is we want to start juggling the fullness of our graveyards as much as we can. Now, I'm going to move you around. You're going to move just to there, I think. There we go. That means I can upgrade this road finally. Also, oh, actually, before I do that, let's go ahead and tell you to stop emptying. You can start accepting corpses again. Possibly from some of the other graveyards. There we go. Now, unfortunately, it does mean that those buildings are never going to quite gain the same sort of size as they had before. Because I've changed the way that that connects up. And this, we don't need this electricity line there. We can go ahead and set that up instead. Now, what I mean by that is that this is only 3 deep. I think you need it to be a 4x4 to get the maximum sort of height building. We'll set those up as residential. So there's a little bit of need right now. But it actually looks like we might not be doing too badly for healthcare. Or rather, death care. Well, that being said, we don't seem to have an incinerator. See, this is the problem. This is why I don't like building crematoriums. I think of them in my mind as incinerator plants for people. That's the association I have in my brain. And that it's completely different. If it was said, this is a funeral pyre, that would be perfectly fine. My head would associate that with the respectful disposal of warriors. No. In my head, no, we're just going to stick them in a cardboard box, shove them in an oven for a little while, and then give people back the ashes, which, by the way, are mostly made up of the cardboard box, or the coffin, if they happened to be burnt in the coffin. But it's so bad. I think a very large part of the whole thing of like, we're going to keep the ashes of our relatives respectfully somewhere, that really gets to me is that those ashes are mostly wood or cardboard. The very little bit of that is people, unfortunately. Fat doesn't leave ashes, fat just burns. This is why Anun doesn't want to have crematoriums. Damn it. But we will add one up here for the gentry as well. And we shall have the crematorium built right by there. And this one shall be named the Suns, Fury, People Oven. There we go. And a couple of upgrades, which I'm very happy with. Let's actually have a look. What kind of residential level are we? Not bad, actually. How are we doing for recreation and leisure time here? Not very well. We've got a lot of parks up this way, but we've also got a huge amount of people up this way too. So we could perhaps do with one or two more. The Plaza of the Dead, an eerie plaza to celebrate how well the city handles its deceased. Required for building the fusion power plant. Really? How well we handle our deceased? Are you talking about the same city? But I do quite like this plaza, the idea of it. Therefore, we will have one. I think, maybe, if we can find a spot. Very hard on a circular area. Perhaps we could have it outside. See, the problem with having it outside is that I don't think we're going to get as much use from it then. Ooh, there we go. Though you're going to knock down a couple of buildings in one go. Still, I feel that having this there kind of suits the city. Can we get this so it doesn't knock down the path? I don't think so. What about over here? Anyway? No, it looks like one of the only places we're going to get it, so... Oof. Like so. And there we are. A load of people are fairly happy with that. That is actually very, very nice. Let's move in there and have a proper look at it. Also, rezone, possibly, if needed. No, no, we're good. It actually looks quite nice. That looks very nice. Let's just hope that that's not a weeping angel kind of statue, because at that size... Oh, my lord, you people are all doomed. Okay, well, we're going to name this one. This shall be the... let's see, what's next on the name list? The Sir Felix... Weeping Angel. There we go. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that one. We've got a fair chunk of residential demand right now. Perhaps we could try and focus on upgrading some of this. How's things going down here? Ooh. Actually, no, we still seem to have a reasonable amount of these buildings as oil wells, so that's not too bad. Never really thought about how much garbage just piles up in 2 weeks. Really? Really? Because I'm fairly aware of it. It's remarkable how much garbage piles up in 2 weeks just for one person. But let's have a double check on that, just in case. Oh, barely seems that there's any garbage piling up. Oh, you rotters complaining about things that aren't even problems. But we do need to get rid of a couple of the burnt out buildings. Anything else? Any other buildings need to be chopped down? No, we're good. No, there we are. Now we're good. Alright. Not too bad. I'm so sad our city needs to be ruined by those ugly oil pumps. Isn't there already enough oil in wherever it comes from? Wow. How ignorant. Okay, so there is a little bit of an issue with garbage up here. Now I'm going to leave this running on max speed for a little while, just so that we can get some of the cemeteries emptied out a little bit. But let's have a quick look at the levels here. Well, they're not actually that high. And there's a dead person waiting there. These ones are very nice, though. They've leveled up to the 4th level. Are any of these at the 4th level? Very nearly. Oh, I approve of that. Truly I do. How are we doing for health services? Let's see. The dead are rising a little bit. We've got easily enough capacity, but I do notice that we're running off just 2 small clinics, effectively. Could go for an enormous hospital. Around here somewhere, like that. That would probably drive the gentry's happiness up to the point that these buildings start rising the land value themselves. Or we could go with a clinic. How much money are we making? We're making 4 grand. That would be half of our current income on a single building. Whereas this is much, much more modest. No, we're going to go with this one then. Right, sorry about this, but we need your land. There we go. That should upgrade a couple of buildings now to one of the higher levels, or at least to the 4th level. There we go. That's fantastic. That was exactly what we needed. Look at these. There we are, and that's increased the amount of households we're getting. So each of these buildings is providing us with more tax. Fantastic. Right. Okay, medical clinic shall be the killer Ouija. I think that's how you spell Ouija or Ouija. That's actually a little bit of a grim name for a medical facility, actually, when you think about it. We'll just go with the Killer Ouija Medical Clinic. I'm really liking the levels that I'm seeing here. This is actually really, really good. That one's getting close to 5 now. They would probably be the first level 5s that I have in my city in terms of residential. We've got an abandoned building. We're going to chop that down straight away so that it doesn't pull the land value down up here. Right, okay. Let's get rid of this. I think on that note, we're going to wrap this episode up. In the next one, I am probably going to expand out the Growery's residential district. We want a couple more houses down here, just little houses. So many abandoned buildings down here, unfortunately. And possibly we are going to look into more work down here, though I'm noticing an awful lot of oil wells. Has this... Oh, yeah, it actually is starting to feel like we've taken most of the oil away. Has that actually happened? That would be interesting. At that point, we would start importing oil units. Which might actually put a huge strain on our road network rather than helping it, which is why I built this in the first place. But I noticed there's a lot of oil there, so maybe we can branch out, try to pick all of that up for now. But we'll have to have a think about that in the next episode. So I do hope you've enjoyed this one, and will be joining us for the next, where I will get a couple of things set up ready, I think. I'll probably rise this highway, and then we can have a look at what I was planning down here. But also we're going to be working on the deeper wellery and expanding the residential district for the Growery. So quite a lot of things that need to be done in the next episode. I hope you're excited for that, as I am. But until then, and as always, do take care.